Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Thank you for being here. Hope that all is well in your world. I want to talk to you today in this video about creativity. I think a lot of women, as they get a little older, discover that there's a part of themselves that's just looking to be expressed in a creative way. And we have a fabulous blogger, Jan Moore. She writes about this whole evolving creativity that happens as we get a little bit older, and some of the things that you can do to enhance it, to amplify it, and how creativity really is a path to reinvention in midlife, how you can get better with your growth and your evolution through creativity. Now, we all have our ways to express our creativity. I make jewelry. I love to talk to you. I write. Those are my expressions of creativity. I love color. I love makeup because I think it's so beautiful to express yourself with color and paints. It's just painting. But maybe you've got another one that really sort of engages you. And as Jan points out, creativity, as you get older particularly, is really a way of expressing your spiritual growth. And I mean that in a very deep way. You know, your way of understanding how you fit in this world. What's the value? What's the purpose? What are you doing with these years that you have left in your life? And I think it's so beautiful and precious to understand it that way. She talks about this journey of creativity like a winding path, and the fact that it isn't always a straight line, like you wake up one morning and decide you're going to paint, or you're going to make a quilt, or you're going to, do something, in a creative way. It's actually something that you have to almost let synchronicity weave its magic, that things happen in ways that you may never expect. They come to you from the side and you think, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. And then you grow with it, you develop it. And I think that's really, really powerful. It takes time sometimes, but I think that creativity as a spiritual practice is really powerful. She talks about a woman called Hilary Farmer who decided, I think, just to leave a corporate job, and she went to trade her job for art, and she became an artist and gave up everything. And sometimes that is the way that it has to be. Sometimes it has to be an all or nothing thing. Sometimes you can weave it into where you are. But she talks about this woman, Hilary, quite a bit, because Hilary writes about how she sees creativity as a spiritual practice. And she says something which I wanted to read, which is, if you hold back what is inside of you, it will destroy you. I think that's a very powerful word, but I think there's some truth there. That creativity in Hilary's mind is how we touch the divine, the mysterious, the things that drive us, that motivate us, our values. And if we keep those things hidden back, they will hurt us. We won't be able to be our true selves. And sometimes it's difficult because we've woven ourselves into a persona that the world sees, that we want the world to see. And to actually change that, like Hilary did, is really hard. It takes a lot of courage, and especially, I think, as you get a little bit older. So what Hilary did was she created, her art was her mandalas. She created a body of work, of art, of mandalas. And if you've ever seen a mandala, maybe in a coloring book or something, they are pictures. In my mind, they're pictures that map the universe. They start from a very simple center, and then they move outwards. You find them in the Buddhist and Hindu traditions. They're a spiritual practice to draw them and to color them and to work with them. So they open from a small center to a larger scope. And Hilary created these mandalas. Maybe you have created something similar to that in your search for creativity. So I think the other thing she talks about is that, in order to start this journey, you've got to give yourself permission. And the most important thing to remember is there's no one judging. Trust me. All of our lives, I think we spent thinking that people were actually paying attention to us, that they actually were watching us and judging us. And I think that everybody, all women, most women, as they get to be in their 50s and 60s and 70s, certainly, are just, aware that just is not the case. That we are not being judged by anybody. We are just a mirror back to them of themselves. And, if we're amusing to them, if we're dressed in a way that makes them smile, or saying something that makes them, have a response that seems judgmental, or it doesn't matter. It's just not happening in a way that you should worry about. So that's the first thing that Hilary says, is give yourself permission to be creative. Go crazy a little bit. It's okay. Fear and resistance to your own true self are the things that will hurt you and harm you in the long run. So what can you do? And I love this, that she's got a list here of 14 things that you can do to actually express your creativity and see it as a spiritual practice. And if you've got any comments on this, by the way, please leave them in the section below, because other women can learn from your experience, from your journey. And I think it's very powerful if you have the lack of fear, the resilience and the courage to actually share with us. You know, what have you been through? What is your creative outlet? And does it, for you, express a spiritual, and I mean that broadly, side? So things to do. Make, excuse me, make space for creativity in your home. I have a little table, which is kind of my creative table. I've got all my beads and my little other jewelry things that I make and my coloring books. I just have like a little, it's only a small desk, but I just have everything there, because when I go past it, I think, Margaret, take an hour, just sit down and do that. You know, just make something that you really, really love. Make a necklace, make a coloring page, do something. So make a space in your home. So this is the second one, dedicate a physical area to your work. Again, could be just a small table, could be a big workshop. I mean, whatever you're doing. If you're doing pottery or something like that, you may have, or woodworking, you may want something bigger. The third thing is to set a specific time in the day when you're going to work on it. Now, for me, I get up very early. I'm an early, like 5, 6 o'clock person in the morning. So I actually do a lot of my creative stuff in the morning. That's kind of my early morning, late at night too. So I have a specific time that is your creative time. It's important to do this for yourself, to make it a priority. Number 5 is make a journal. And whether it's just I have literally my daily diary. That's all I use for my journal. I don't have a specific journal, but I use my diary and I put things in there day by day. Don't let it slip away in your memory. Don't let an idea slip away in your memory. Write it down. I mean, we all have those moments of, like, I don't remember what I'm standing in this room for kind of moments, but write down an idea. If you have a color combination or something that you want to try on something, just write it down or find a picture and stick it in a scrapbook. Work at small things first. This is number 7. And I actually like this idea because sometimes if you try to do the big things, like complete a whole scarf or do a whole collage, you'll never start it because it just seems so overwhelming. But if you start in a corner and do one small thing and then something bigger, piece it together, that's, I think, the way to let creativity manifest itself. Another thing she talks about is trying a challenge, a daily challenge. And I don't know whether you've tried this yourself or but try something a little different. Watch an online tutorial on something that you've never done before, or join an online experience that is just pushing you into something that you need to put your mind to, something new. Reward activity, not the end result. I love this one. If you just get through the end of the day and you've done one little thing and it's like, but I didn't get anywhere near finishing, it doesn't matter. Reward yourself for the activity and not just for the accomplishment. I think that's so powerful because it may take you, 3 months to do something or a year. It may just take you a long time to finish the thing that you really want to manifest. I've been really getting into stained glass and I would love to do a stained glass window. And I think just do one little block at a time. Maybe that will be my journey. So what else have we got? Take an art class online or in person. There's lots of cool online stuff that you can do. Connect with other artists. That's a nice idea. And there's lots of people online doing wonderful art, or even in your community, just connect with other creative people. Even if they're not doing what you're doing. You may be doing knitting and they may be doing quilt making or whatever. Just connect. They're like-minded. They've got a creative little spirit to them. Look for community, same thing, look online. In Edinburgh, for example, I was researching that and I found that there's so many cool places that are just like renting space for artists. Even if you, like, for example, don't want to sell your things, but you just need a space, like you haven't got room in your house. Probably in every city in the United States, in Canada, in England, and wherever else you're tuning in from, there's a little group that meets. Find them, rent a little space if you can. Take all your little goodies over there and work there. Find a creative outlet, a writing class, a book club, whatever works. And connect with existing or aspiring artists. Go to their shows. Support them. Even if you don't have any money to buy a piece of art or any desire to buy anything, go and just say, this is beautiful. Thank you so much for making this happen, for bringing this into the world. It's fantastic. And I guess the final thing, 14, is take a leap of faith. Believe in yourself. It's okay. You don't have to be the world's greatest artist, the world's greatest musician, or whatever. Just take a leap of faith in you. Believe in you. Enjoy it. Just have fun with it. And I don't know, how have you used your creative spirit, your creative urges to reinvent your life? How has that maybe changed the way that the trajectory, the direction that you took? I'd love to know. Please share your answers. I really would love to know what creativity you're up to and how it's helping you to kind of move forward with your life. Share with our sisters and, you know, just enjoy. Please join this, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've enjoyed this video, and press the notification bell so you'll know when new videos are being published. But just join hands here, join our 60andMe community, and just, you know, you're not alone on this journey for sure. We're all in this together. Okay, everybody, we'll take really good care. Love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I am with you always. Bye-bye for now.